already been claimed it's a critical success, #1 around the world. You know what we're talking about. That very first podcast from the sometime royal known as the Duchess of Sussex. To other people, Meghan Markle. Spotify have spent thousands, probably millions, in advertising this to make sure that we're all totally aware exactly what Meghan, the former Duchess of Sussex, some might say, is planning to reveal to us on a weekly basis over the next 12 weeks. But really, is it all going to plan? And more importantly, who are the next big guests? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the very heart of Yorkshire. A beautiful vision today, isn't it? All those wonderful flowers that are out in bloom as we enjoy the last sort of rays, shall we say, of summer. Sad to note, of course, but more importantly, it's going to be very difficult when you consider that Meghan Markle herself has now got a lot of, shall we say, pressure on her hands. And here's the reason why. Everyone knows when you're putting a podcast together, program, TV show, chat show, whatever, it's all about the guests. Now, so far, we've had Meghan virtually interviewing herself, as we've all spoken about. More importantly, of course, she had a guest, shall we say briefly, the tennis ace Serena Williams. And next week, this coming week, we can look forward to the world superstar that is Mariah Carey, dream lover herself, and no doubt got a few stories to share about her climb through a biracial upbringing into national superstardom, all by marrying, of course, someone incredibly rich, Tommy Mottola. Now, yeah, maybe they will have more in common than people possibly think. I'll just let that one sink in. But what is interesting, and we can reveal first here exclusively on the show, is that Meghan truly is aiming big. Now, one of the big people that she'd like to appear on the podcast, hopefully before the end of the series, is none other than the First Lady herself, Jill Biden. But it's tricky times, you see, if you're Jill Biden, because as we now know, Prince William's heading over to Boston at the end of the year for his big Earthshot launch. Now, if Jill pops up on Archetypes, will she then be invited to Prince William's Earthshot towards the end of this year? Tricky times, as I say. So if Jill says no, they have a reserve. That's right. A sort of wannabe First Lady herself who hoped to be President of the United States once, none other than Hillary Clinton. But so far, Hillary's holding judgment, even though she's been very supportive publicly. I think she's waiting to see exactly how this all maps out. But if all that fails, what we can tell you is that they could also rely on their good chum, Sir Elton John. Elton's teamed up with another tragic victim recently for a brand new release, Britney Spears. And according to a very good source, Meghan would like to chat with Britney about exactly what she went through, all that difficult period when she was under a conservatorship. You know what I'm talking about. So once again, this would give Meghan the opportunity to talk about just how hard her life's been in the last few years while she popped into the British monarchy for a nanosecond, did a total of around 72 public engagements, and then decided it was all too much and whipped off back to California. Whichever way you look at it, this is going to be an interesting ride in the world of podcasting, not necessarily for the guests, but more about just how tragic Meghan's life has been to date. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.